Guys, hope everyone is doing well tonight. I'm Paul Apollonia. My main venue is selling on eBay. I also do some Amazon and Facebook and other venues, but my main venue is eBay. I part out things for eBay sales, dishwashers, appliances. As you can see on the first listing, we're going to go over blender parts, you name it, I part it out. I get most of my stuff for free on Craigslist or other like Facebook ads and stuff. Let me start with going over what I do on Craigslist. I search the free section, but I instead of sitting there searching it every day, I create an email alert through Craigslist. It's very easy. Once you sign on to Craigslist and create an account, you'll see an email alert. I think I have a video on that, on how to do that in my channel there. Pretty simple. And you set up for whatever you're searching for: dishwashers, washers, dryers, lawnmowers, chainsaws, whatever. I have it searching for everything. And back in the old days, when somebody would post something, you would get an email immediately. It is a little delayed lately, but I still get a lot of stuff. And I also do a lot of consignment. Probably half of my business is consignment. I love consignment. It works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but I like it. And I do probably about 10 to 20% thrifting. So most of these items you're going to see here tonight, I paid nothing to almost nothing. I mean, very little for. We're going to go over selected items I sold from April 8th, 2019 to the April 14th, 2019. So let's get the show on the road here. Here is just a food processor disc, chopping disc, slicing disc, whatever you want to call it. Fits many, many millions of food processors. So I found two food processors at the thrift store. They were 50% off plus some other sale on top of it. I think I got both food processors for $7 for the two of them. Now, in all reality, I probably should just flip the whole. I probably should have flipped the whole food processors as a whole on eBay, but I did not. I figured I'd part it out. And this is the first part I sold from those two food processors. I looked up the processor by model name in Google, found a parts list, and found the part number. I also found a few listings on eBay. So I took some from Google, took some from an eBay listing, and did it that way. I real clear on my titles. I try and use as many item specifics as I can. I've mentioned this before. Google uploads all their listings. eBay uploads all their listings to Google every day. And these item specifics is very important for Google. That's why when you search on something on Google, you'll see eBay listings because it's looking at this and the title. And my descriptions are very short. I'm telling them you're only buying the disc only, not responsible for the part not fitting. Very short because 80% of the sales on eBay are done through smart devices, phones, and tablets, so people don't have time to read. If you feel it necessary to put a big description, I would do something like this at the beginning and then put your big description at the bottom. If it's an antique, a family heirloom, something you want to tell the buyer what it's about or the history. So let's go on to the next item. I just sold this today. This is a coil or a magneto ignition coil, whatever you want to call it, out of a weed whacker, a Troy-Bilt weed whacker. These don't sell like they used to because I think they're just old at this point. It did work. I tested it out. I try and test all my parts out if I can. If I can't, I just take a gamble sometimes and just sell them. I really don't like doing that. I figured I should take the return and it'd be done with, but I know this one works. Took me probably 20 minutes to part out the whole weed eater. Probably going to make about 60 to 80 bucks just from the parts of this, maybe more. So I made, after sales, went first class, 9 ounces. Probably made $17, maybe $16 off of this. So that's not bad. I try and take all pictures of the item number, the model number, whatever's on the part itself. And in previous videos, I've said I always take a picture of the model number on the device itself, on the trimmer, on the washer, on whatever, and put that to the last picture of my listing. Well, guess what? I didn't do it on this one. But this thing fits so many different trimmers. It fits Troy-Bilts, Weed Whackers, Craftsman, you name it. That is why it's very important to put the part numbers. That is the current part number, and that is the previous part number. I put them in the title, so that will fit many. I don't want to sit here saying Troy-Bilt, Craftsman, Husqvarna, whatever. Just the part number should be good enough. Let's go on to the next item. Like I said, this is a selection of some of the items I've sold. Here is a handle for a weed trimmer. You've seen them, you hold it like this and you you trim the edges. They call these J handles. These are pretty sought after. I sell these pretty quick. I always make sure I have some kind of measurement so they know. There's the 11 inches, and then that shows you how wide it is from the handle. And it's a standard handle. It's a 1-inch tube, but I make sure that I take a picture with the measurement there. What I'm doing here is I'm trying my best to avoid any returns. The more pictures, the more descriptions you do, you avoid a lot of returns by doing this. I know it's a pain in the neck. I know it's not a high dollar sale, but I got it for nothing. Somebody probably was on a trimmer that somebody gave me for nothing. I've probably made $60 to $80 off the trimmer itself at this point. I found this in a box actually in the garage. So that's a pretty good sale there. Same thing. I try my best to do as much in the item specifics as I can. Same thing with descriptions are very short. All my listings are almost the same. Most of my sales profit range between, I'd say $15 and $25. I do have those gems where I make a lot more money than that, but those are not often. And I do sell stuff at way cheaper than that. I know not everybody likes doing that. I don't have a problem doing that as long as I can take it, throw it in an envelope, and get it out of here. I'm happy with making just a couple bucks, but it's got to be a quick list and a quick ship. Here is a dryer motor from the dryer that I've talked about before in previous videos. I got off of Craigslist. I actually got a washer and dryer. I don't sell things as whole, even if they're working. I just part them out. I've probably made $200, maybe $175 to $200 profit off of this dryer already, just from the parts. From the washer, I've made well over $400, probably over $450 in profit on that. So there is money in parts. Here is all angles of the motor. Now this is a mount. I could have taken this mount off, but I did not. It just wasn't worth my time. And I'll show you, hopefully I don't have the, like I just said, I usually have the picture of the dryer model number at the last photo, but I don't again. So there's the motor number, angles of all different sides and everything. And I come down here and I Googled the motor and I looked on eBay and I found this. I copy and pasted all this from a parts supply house that I found online. All these different numbers for the motor. So it took me a little bit of time to create the listing, but I was happy with it. I paid nothing for the item. I probably made $26 on this. Went right into a box. I actually wrapped it in plastic because somebody gave me a whole ton of peanuts, and I'm not a big fan of peanuts because they get in every nook and cranny and crevice of an item. When I'm using them, I wrap the item in plastic, tape it up, and then I put peanuts around it. So I'm trying to get rid of all these peanuts. That's how I ship this. Let's go on to the next item. A lawnmower bag. These sell good in spring, sort of good in summer, good in fall. They are long tail sales, which means they sit in your store for a while, except for this one and two other ones I sold last week. Listed them and they were gone within a week. It took me a little while to find this one. Actually, I couldn't remember what mower this came off of. I had no model number, no nothing, no markings on the bag. So a couple of nights ago, I just sat with my computer in front of the TV and just looked on eBay and just typed in rear grass catcher bags, lawnmower or mower. And I found one that looked like it. And then I went on Google and I did the same thing and I found one that looked like it. So that was it. And sold pretty quick, this one. I take all pictures of everything, making sure that the buyer knows what they're getting. I think I may have, and I am crazy with measurements. I want to show them all the measurements so they know what they're getting. There's the width, there's the length, and it's all in here. It says good shape, some wear from use, fits many errands models, which it does. So it's more important to me to put the part number of the item instead of the model number of the mower or whatever you're dealing with up in the title, because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for the part number of the item. So there's two items here, actually. There's the bag. There's that bag. And then the frame is that metal thing going around, and the bag wraps around the frame. I probably made $24 on this, maybe a little bit more. Here is a Matchbox car. I do consignment, like I said. I love consignment. It doesn't work for everybody. I've had my share of bad clients. You have to really weed people out when you're doing consignment. Look for the red flags and run. But I've got a lot of great people. And this guy I've known for years. His dad unfortunately passed away, and he was a huge Matchbox collector. I probably sold 50 cars so far. And this is not obviously a Matchbox, but it was in his collection. I listed it around Christmas time, right before Christmas, and it sat for this long. So it sat about 4 months in my store. Finally sold it the other day. Guy got it the other day, and he's thrilled with it. I shipped it first class, insured, and I think it came to $610 or $620. So remember, you get $50 of insurance on priority, and everything else you don't get insurance on. So you got to add insurance to that kind of, to everything else. I thought it was different. I thought you got insurance on some other things, but you don't. So here's all the pictures. I made sure I took really good pictures of this. This is obviously done in the outside on a picnic table out front of my house. There's the couple inside. I don't know what this is, a James Bond thing or something or whatever, but there it is. Used as many item specifics as I could. I Googled it. I looked on eBay. I got as much information as I could. Again, this takes a little bit of time, but once you get familiar with what you're Googling and what you're looking for, it doesn't take that long. So that's that one. I made pretty good. I do 50-50 split on my consignments of anything under $100. It sells for $100 or less. And it goes, the percentage goes down from there. I'm doing nothing. People are giving me stuff to sell. So that's why I like consignment. I'm not out there thrifting. Got a few more items left here, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there. These lawnmower recoils sell really, really well. I take tons and tons of pictures. I make sure that, I'll show you, I make sure I take a picture of the model number of the engine, all different angles. These are I always make sure I take pictures of these side pieces, of this side hole here, and also this other side hole is very important because different engines have different things going through them. This is for the governor for the carburetor. This is for the front for the kill switch. So I always make sure I take very good pictures of that. I take pictures of the rope. I pull the rope out a little bit. I also take a picture of this. These are what they call the dogs. Yes, like dog, D-O-G-S. Why they call them dogs, but that's what they're called. Make sure they're working. I also take a picture of all sorts of different angles, working, everything inside, underneath, above. These are very easy to take off. There's usually 3 bolts, one here, one there, and one behind on the other side. Slips right off. And these can be a long tail sale too. These can hang around for a while, but they're a quick ship. I just put it in the box the way it is. I don't even put any bubble wrap around it. Put it in a pretty thick box, and it goes out. I think I made $15, maybe $16 on this item. Here is another bag. I sold this the other day. This one went out to California. Cost me a little bit more in shipping. Should have done calculated shipping on this, but I did not. This went in a 12 by 12 box, 12 by 12 by 15 box. What I did was I took one 12 by 12 box, took another 12 by 12 box, telescoped them together, slid the top one onto the bottom one. Actually, I think I'd used 3 boxes on this one. Slipped another one, slipped the bag in there, taped the both ends up so they're real tight. I didn't use any packing paper, no nothing, just shipped the bag out. I think it cost me $22 to ship it out. I'm okay sometimes with losing money on shipping because I make some money. Most of the time I'm making a couple of bucks on shipping, so I think it all washes out in the end. I like charging for shipping. 99% of my items I charge for shipping. All depends if I'm selling an item and I see all the solds are free shipping, then I do free shipping. So I probably made about maybe $18 on this, maybe $17, but it was sitting in my garage. I forgot about it. And again, I'm crazy with the measurements, all different measurements, so they know what they're getting, all different angles of the bag. This bag was like new. I think it was used once or twice. Crazy measurements, measurement from the hook. They're just crazy. Now, I couldn't find a model number on this, on the mower, because I didn't have a model number, so I just sold it like this. I normally don't do this. I usually have a part number for the bag like I did before on the Aaron's bag, but I could not find a part number, could not find a model number, so I saw somebody else selling 2 of these like this, and I thought, well, let me try it, and it sold. We are almost done. Here is another Matchbox, a prefect, not a perfect. Funny story about this, I listed it around Christmas, and it sat out there for a month, and then some guy from Europe messaged me and said, it's not perfect, it's prefect. I went, oh. So I changed it to prefect. It's a European car, obviously, and it still sat out there in my store, but I finally sold it. Now, originally, I had all these Matchboxes not as free shipping. I was charging shipping. Then I noticed everybody went to free shipping. So I upped my price $6 because I shipped these first class insured. This goes out at about 4 ounces, first class insured. And it's basically I do as best I can with pictures, all different angles. The box has damage. I make sure people see the box has damage so they know what they're buying. And I even state damaged box. The boxes are hot. People, you can get this much money just for the box sometimes if the box is in good shape. Again, I made 50% of that, so I probably made, $16, $15 on that sale. But it went plop right into a little box, packing peanuts because I'm trying to get rid of them. I wrap it in plastic. I always wrap these in plastic. Just cellophane, just the kind you have in the kitchen, nothing fancy. And then I put them in the box, peanuts, whatever I'm packing with. So they have some kind of protection because I always assume that it's my house and a package gets delivered and it sits on the front step for 3 days in the pouring rain. So I want that item to always be dry. This was a consignment item. This was not obviously a high dollar item. And a woman is downsizing, moving into a smaller home. And she just has some stuff she wanted to get rid of. I've probably made about $200 over this woman from things I've sold. So I just grabbed some low-end items too. I don't mind consigning low-end items if I've got some high-end stuff that I can make some decent money on. I normally don't take low-end items, but so I didn't make much on this. What I make, $5 on this maybe? But it went out first class. I found a box that fit this exactly. It went out right at 16 ounces, which on eBay, if you're shipping using eBay, you get 16 ounces on first class. If you go to the post office, I think it's 13 ounces or 14 ounces. I think it's 13, but you don't get 16 ounces when you go to the post office. So ship via eBay. Run everything through eBay. This may be it. I think we're going to go right back to the food processor thing again. Sorry about that. Yes. Okay, so that is a selection of what I sold for that week from April 8th, 2019 to April 14th, 2019. Please hit the old thumbs up, like button on the video if you like it. And please subscribe to my channel. I'm always giving more videos like this. I just did another video on parting out a Shark upright vacuum cleaner the other day. So I'm always telling you guys how to part out things. There's lots of money in parts. Remember, you don't have to be mechanically inclined to take something apart. You're just taking stuff apart. You're not worried about putting it back together again, which is really cool. And storage is a lot easier. And a lot of times you get more for parts than you do trying to sell the whole thing, like I explained in my Shark vacuum cleaner video. All right, guys. I also do eBay training, one-on-one, small group, large group. I also have a eBay training video all down below. That's in Vimeo. And I also have the Raleigh eBay Meetup group, an eCom group. We get sellers from eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, Etsy, you name it. We get about 15 people a month, if not more. Bubble Fast has sponsored that meetup again this year. Very exciting about that. So if you need shipping supplies, please check out Bubble Fast. They're eBay sellers. I've known Mark and Robin for years and years and years, and they're great people. All right, guys, I hope you guys have a great night, and I hope you found this video enjoyable and informative. Have a great one. Thank you so much.